Jeremy, you have really struck a nerve, I think, with this particular story. You were a guest recently on Tucker Carlson. It was a superb interview. And I believe the views on the Fox website, more than 1 million the last time I took a look. And I've always said that when government picks a fight with the farmers, that's kind of like a third rail issue. You don't want to mess with the farmers, much like you don't want to mess with veterans, war veterans. And I'm just wondering what you think the final outcome of this will be. I can't imagine if you polled people, regardless of political affiliation, whose side they weigh in on, it must be Amos that's getting the vast majority of support. What say you, my friend?
Yeah, well, it is interesting you say that. It struck a nerve with the public in more ways than one. You have people who support farmers, people who don't like government intervening in the private lives of businesses or citizens, and then you also have the people who are very concerned with organic food and health food, and all of his food is organic and no GMOs, no added hormones to any of the milk or the beef. So it's really an issue that both, the left and the right and the alt-left and the alt-right can gather around Amos and say, the government's overstepping here. The outcome really depends on what Amos decides to do. He can decide to, fight the government and not pay these fines and kind of bend his knee and say, okay, I'll send my cows to these, government facilities, even though that's not what his customers want. His customers like the fact that the cows are from the farm and are getting processed on the farm. So he'll probably lose business if he does bend a knee to the government and say, I will process my meat exactly how you tell me to. But, he is Amish, and he's, I'm sure, they're very pacifist type people. So I don't know if he's going to fight the government or he's going to bend his knee to the government. I think that's Amos's decision.
And Jeremy, I think that leads to the big question about this story. And what does the future entail? In other words, does Amos have some champion in his corner, some high-profile lawyer maybe that will take this case on pro bono because it is so outrageous and egregious? Or, like you said, there is a passive nature to the Amish. They don't fight these kind of fights, I suppose. If you were a betting man, how do you think this is going to play out in the days and weeks ahead?
Well, David, his lawyer, there was actually a Reuters article a couple of years back about how Amos doesn't want this man to represent him anymore because he doesn't think he's doing his case any justice. And the lawyer himself doesn't want to represent Amos because he doesn't believe in Amos's case, essentially. And the court, through the bureaucracy that the federal courts are forcing these two to continue working with each other. They're making Amos be represented by this guy, and they're making this guy represent Amos because Amos wants to actually represent himself deep down. He believes that he knows his case better than anyone, better than any lawyer, especially a lawyer that he doesn't like. So that's what's happening right now in terms of the legal, the legal snafu that's happening. And another thing I might add is we've garnered a lot of attention because people understand that they want to get farmers off the land. They think cows and they think livestock are, causing climate change. So they want to get these cows and these farmers off the land. And it's healthy, and they're helping fertilize the farm with their own feces, and it's a great little ecosystem they have going on. But what's even more greener to the elite is rolling beautiful hills of solar panels and wind turbines. And so, once that happens, and once we have a lot of these farmers out of here, and we have green energy in place of them, we'll have to drastically change our diets. We'll have to consume less meat. And the World Economic Forum says their progressive goal for 2050 is that developed countries will consume 0 kilograms of red meat per year. So they want to do away with red meat. And it's really obvious when you see them attacking the farmers in the Netherlands and when you see them attacking the farmers here at home in the United States. So this whole thing is it's a big snafu, David.
And Jeremy, you raise a great point, and here's some more perverse irony for you. Yes, we know what the agenda is for the World Economic Forum: trading your hamburger for a cricket sandwich, give up your car, as in forever. And yet Bill Gates, who's all in on WEF policies, he is right now, I understand, the largest owner of American farmland. So again, it's kind of one law for thee and one law for me, isn't it? Mm-hmm.
That's exactly right. And what is Gates doing with that farmland? We don't even know what's happening right now. Are those farmers who he owns their land? Are they going to be pressured by essentially their landlord, Bill Gates, to farm a different way, to farm different things? In a lot of places we will see farmers get pushed off the land, and what happens after? After we have green factories that will make these alternative proteins, which are not green at all. These are factories, and they're saying it's greener than an actual beautiful living farm.
Yeah, it sounds like you're going down the road of Soylent Green, which of course was set in 2022, even though it was filmed in 1973. And wow, did they get a lot of things right? It's downright prescient, but we're living that reality now.
Soylent Green is people. We gotta stop them somehow.
Hey folks, that was an excerpt from my show, Rebel Roundup. Now, to get the full meal deal, why not go to Rebel News Plus, sign up, and never miss a Rebel News Plus show in the future.